Today, let me talk about the believer in God, theist, and the who doesn't believe in God, atheist. Theism and atheism. What exactly it is, and what is the significance of atheism or theism in spirituality? At first, let me clear this. God is not a subject of belief. So, in religion, there may be distinction between the person who believes in God and the person who doesn't believe in God. But in spirituality, there is no distinction. Both the person who doesn't believe in God still can be spiritual, and the one who believes in God can be spiritual, because belief is a product of our mind, of the collective social consciousness which has been evolved since our birth. So that really doesn't matter if you believe in God or not, because God is not a person. And if God is not a person, and if you do not believe in God, God is not a thing to believe. God is a matter of experience. So there can be two classes, like the one who have experienced God and who haven't experienced God, but not the one who believe in God and who doesn't believe in God, because the belief and not believing are the part of same coin, a different part of same coin. So it doesn't really matter you believe in God or not. Welcome to our new episode. This is Prashant Mokshya. At first, we have to understand God is not a human being. As we try to manifest Him in an idol, or when we try to worship in a place, we try to imagine God as a person. And when we call Jesus or Buddha or like Lao Tzu or Mahavira or many other enlightened masters as a God, we that is like a literal meaning. That is like a meaning in a sense that it's like a drop immersed on an ocean. When a drop immersed on an ocean, when a drop of water dropped on an ocean, then it becomes the ocean. So like we call the masters, enlightened masters, who have dissolved, who have been transcended to the wholeness, we also call them God. But that really doesn't mean that God is an individual person. So many religious scripture try to say their masters is a God and he is or she is the only God. But that is like a false statement, and that is the core reason for a belief and the belief beyond all these structures, social consciousness. So in spirituality, that really doesn't matter. Only there is two distinctions in spirituality: who have realized a God and who haven't. That is the only two distinctions. So being atheist or being theist, the one who doesn't believe in God still can be spiritual, still can experience a true self, still can experience a true being, and still can be the God, still can realize the God, still can be that drop who is dissolved on the ocean, or still can be that soul which transcended onto the wholeness, which dissolve onto the wholeness and become the wholeness. That is still a possibility, but the current distinction, which is very prevalent among Westerner and even Easterner too, that there is a class of people who doesn't believe in God. They are not religious because they doesn't believe in God, and they are not spiritual because they doesn't believe in God. Is total nonsense. So the core thing is you may either believe, because like there are many enlightened masters like Buddha. Buddha is one of the most significant enlightened master who even denounced the soul. Buddha denounced the soul, Buddha denounced a person as a god. So it really doesn't matter you believe in God or not. Still you can be enlightened, you can be Buddha. So like to understand it, we need to go a little bit deeper. Why it doesn't matter you believe in God or not? Because spirituality is about when you go beyond your conscious, social conscious mind, then there starts a tuning between you and the soul and the wholeness. By its own virtue, this collective consciousness of our conscious mind has no significance in a spiritual experience. The whole purpose of this collective conscious mind, which we call a conscious mind, is to navigate you through a social structure, social paradigm, where you have to live through the principles, where you have to live through the beliefs, where you have to live through the rules of social fabric. That's why this mind is relevant in the social structure, but in spiritual life, in spiritual living, it has no significance at all, because the collective conscious mind which you have developed since your birth from evolution of your life, like the experience, ideology, or the belief of society, teaching of your life, relation, and everything you learn from the social fabric, is nowhere close to being yourself, because they are prejudiced, they are detrimental, they are already determined principles. But spirituality is a core individualistic thing. You cannot learn from, you cannot experience anything from anyone's teaching or anyone's experience, because you have to go yourself through that process. Until you go through yourself to that process, you cannot experience or yourself, because it is experiencing yourself. How is it possible to experience yourself by the experience of other? It's impossible, because you are unique to yourself, you are individual to yourself. So spirituality is an individual journey, and it is very important for you to be individual, to remain yourself, to experience yourself, not a prejudice, social prejudice or social collective consciousness which is being collected in your conscious mind. So, and the belief comes from that conscious mind. There are many group of people who from birth do not believe in God. And the children and the people born there, grow there, do not believe in God. And there are lots of people who born on a society who really believe in God and existence of God, and they think God will seeing them, and God, if they pray to God, if they bargain or ask something to God and give God something in return, they will get some mercy, or they will get some help from the God, because God is guiding them, God is looking them. That consciousness or that belief is also prevalent in society. So both are nonsense and both are meaningless on a spiritual practice. Only the thing that matter in spiritual practice is your experience and the tuning of yourself, your own soul, and to your body, and ultimately the connection of yourself or the dissolvance of your soul to the universe or to the ultimate consciousness or super consciousness, which we call to be a God. That's why God itself is not a person, but many person or many individual can merge or can dissolve to that wholeness and become that wholeness, and by its own theory it can be, they also can be God, but they exactly are not a manifestation, single manifestation of the God. They are the part of God. like a drop of water is a part of ocean, so it also becomes the ocean. But you cannot distinct between an individual drop of water there, because every drop of water has been dissolved to a ocean, and collective drop of water is a ocean. So 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 importantly, to be precise, you either believe in God or you doesn't believe in God. That really doesn't determine you are spiritual or not. In many theology or many social consciousness, you may be determined as you are religious or not. That is another topic, because the definition of religion in today's humanity is so different and so widely different than spirituality. Being spiritual and being religious is so different in today's phenomena. So you either believe in God as a person or not, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is you have experienced God or not in any form of life. When you experience God in any form, in any short or any large form, then your life starts to transcend. The life you have lived now will transcend, and forever there remains only the bliss.